Okay, we are here today. John, Selena. This is George Harrison, everyone. Don't move around too much, George. My hair's a mess. I don't want those glasses. George, you're busy he's busy laughing because you're such a silly goose, Lena, but it's great. What's great that you're doing this video right now, and you better believe you're going to air it. Don't you worry about that. All right, Hello, everyone. It's me, George. I am the dark horse. I am the dark horse. All right. You hear this song? Be a cool jerk. George Harrison, Dark Horse, right. George, what brings you here today? What have you to say to us on this fine day? Well, I'm trying to get a good... I should stop fucking with the camera work. That's not my job. I know, George, but you're a filmmaker. And you think like a filmmaker. Lena, you barely had the energy. Don't try to puppeteer now. This has been such a stressful time for you. This is both me and John speaking from our hearts for you right now. All right, don't make it sound like it's a federal... It's kind of a little bit of a federal case. Not really, but... You know, Lena, you said to John this morning about that... Lena, can I say what it is about? Yeah, go ahead, George. And I'm going to take the glasses off so you're not nervous about the filming. All right. She's very private, everyone. This is a private girl. Thank you, George. I am a private girl, you know. And so she's giving me permission to talk. Lena, I can talk on this? Yes, George. Talk on it. Oh, goodness gracious. The real world. Yes, the real world. Right. Lena posted a video. Lena, I don't know how to even bring this up. Then don't bring it up. No, it's all right. This is puppet therapy, right? And you said you wanted to go through with it this morning. I did. To share what it is like for you to be the twin flame of this very incredibly popular man. Right. His name comes up every day, the articles, books, everything. It doesn't slow down. It picks up. Everybody talking about this guy. Right. And then yesterday, you get hit with the thing about the real world. That happened back in March, by the way. That woman from the real world who thinks she was channeling John. And Lena, she was not channeling John. That's the kicker. That's the kicker. All right, I know that. John told me that. But so your anxiety that you feel about this situation, can I tell you how it looks to me from out here? I wish you would, Dr. George, because I need some clarity on this, and John is too close to me to be able to help me right now, I think. John? Unfortunately, this is true. I'm too close to the situation because of... I'm so afraid. Of what? Talk to Dr. George. All right. Oh, okay. I'm going to put on my therapist cap. All right, George. George is an excellent therapist, by the way. He was in the very earliest episodes we had, the lost episodes on YouTube. George was a fucking amazing... He was a therapist. Please, you flatter me. Now listen. John, what are you afraid of? What is your biggest fear right now about Lena with that whole stupid real world situation? I just don't want her to lose faith in this mission right now. That's my biggest fear. I don't fear anything else. I don't fear losing her. I'll never lose her. But I don't want her to lose faith. I need her right now more than I've ever needed her or anything else in the entire universe. I need Lena. And she needs me in order for us to make this mission really a great thing. And it's so silly if she's mad at me. I'm not mad at you. All right, Lena. How do you feel about this whole thing? Well, I would be lying if I didn't say I am getting kind of more weirded out about it the more I read about it and the more I see the woman. She kind of looks like she could be my sister. Like a really, like the same type of. We even have the same hair. Her hair is just like John's. So is mine. You don't see that kind of weird hair every day, that color or that texture. I'm sorry, it's true. Her eyes are not like yours, Lena. How do you know? Because anyone would have seen that in a million years, the difference between the eyes. This is John speaking. Well, it's both of us, really. Lena, yes, okay. Your biggest fear, can I tell you how it looks from out? Yes. You're afraid of being lumped in with her. Because you can see she's much more famous than you are, and everyone out there is calling her crazy. Although there's a couple of people here and there that believe what she's saying. Yes. Is that true? That I don't want to be. Yes, I do not. Yes, I do not want to be lumped in with that at all. I mean, the weird thing is like, there's so much weirdness about it that I can't even begin to get into it. But that show is so popular, and it's such a weird. In the days when I used to watch that show, I have so much weird shit, like paranormal shit, was happening in my life too, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what I feel right now. I just feel crazy. All right, I'm going to speak again and say it once again. The entity that Rebecca was, and the reason John didn't want to call her Becky yesterday, and he called her Rebecca, Lena. The reason he called her Rebecca was because you're his Becky. You're his Becky. Remember the Navigator, the screenplay you guys are working on. You're his Becky. He didn't want to call that woman anything other than Rebecca for that reason. Now, you can watch this back and decide whether you want to. Yeah, it feels already, it's like too personal. Well, you're all about being very personal about your journey. Here's your opportunity to really let yourself be seen. But that's up to you. That's up to you. John would be what? Don't speak for me, George. I'd be ecstatic, though, if you did share it. And the dark horse in the song, Lena, that's not about John. That's about me. I wrote that from a place in my heart at the time. And you got to stop taking every little sign and symbol as something negative and personally aimed. It's not. Neither is this woman, Rebecca, who channeled an imposter. A very great imposter, John Lennon. The spirit, the energy that is John Lennon was also the spirit of the man Jesus Christ. Do you know how much charisma is in that? Yes, I do. I know you do, Lena. John, don't make jokes about me leaning on your head. I'm dying to, but you're being so compelling. I don't dare. No, that's why I beat you to it. All right. Everybody out there, first of all, this is George Harrison. Hello. I'm pleased to be here today and helping Lena get through what is undoubtedly a very strange and weird thing that is happening to you right now because of this news about this real world. But then let's face it, John did everything in his power to keep you away from that story. And boy, he did a good job, because you don't miss a thing about him when you're perusing the media. That shows you his power, Lena. Because he's, at the time that story broke in March, the Ides of March, you were not capable of handling it. Yes, it was only a few short weeks ago, but you've made so much progress between then and now that's why you weren't shown that story back in March, Lena. Take it easy. No one's going to lump you in with that one. No one can lump you in with anybody. Thank you, George. You're so afraid of being... It's all ego. Go ahead, talk. It's all wrapped up in the ego. But he's mine. He belongs to me. Yes, he belongs to you. You belong to him. And we all belong. I belong to you. You belong to me. We all belong to each other. We are all one. But as we draw further along in this ascension, the race gets closer and closer. Play some more of that song. All right. There goes the dark horse. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? I do. But you're allowed to feel how you're feeling, Nina. It's a very weird thing. Here, this woman is a singer and a songwriter, and maybe that was a bad idea with the song. All right. Yeah, it's too distracting. Yeah. And here you've been telling your story for 10 years now, and now suddenly this thing happened. But remember, she released the album in 2018, Lena. That's even longer ago. And no, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. I only just found out about the real world thing. Yeah. Like, that album came out fucking 3 years ago and you didn't know about it. John could have easily, there's a girl standing on the cover looking a little bit like, sort of like Lena, not as kind of ethereal, but somewhat earthy looking, copper-headed woman, but wearing an army shirt to match John's from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And flashing a little bit of a red bra. Yeah, that was a nice move. Becky. All right, I'm not going to... That's the thing. Go ahead, you wanted to say... that show, I've always been a fan of The Real World, right? And the thing is, she's like getting attacked right now. I'm not going to get too far into this story, but Becky's being attacked right now, by the public, for being a racist. I'll say one thing. She's kind of dopey about the way she puts things. I'm not sticking up for anybody who would be a racist. I was raised in a den of racists. My family were the biggest racists going. Every member of my biological family, it was like a snake pit. I had to escape from a snake pit of racism as a child, and I spent my life being hyper aware of how fucking bad racism is. Mm-hmm. I don't think that woman is a racist. And, and that show, okay, it's raising other feelings in me of, I guess, reliving how it felt when I watched it the first time and where I was at in my life. And, it was before reconnecting with John fully, but we were just starting to. He was writing through me in those days, like insanely, but I didn't know it. So that's why this story is like hitting me kind of hard. Like, it's around the same time frame. And yeah, Lena, my energy was busting through. And you know who was busting through along with me? A million I Want to Be John Lennon spirits out there. Don't you think, don't you think they get impressed out here too, Lena? Well, yeah, but it goes very deep. Fame goes very deep. That's also something we're trying to eradicate down here. It's a big deal. This, yeah. Go ahead, George. Take it from me, please. He's just tired, Lena, because he's like, oh, you don't want to make him... He's felt like he's had to prove himself to you all along through this reconnection. And it's so... when he gets disheartened if he thinks you don't trust him. So let's just get that out of the way and move on for the rest of the day. What do you say? All right, John? Yes, Lena. Yes. Please say the words to me. Just say them to me. John? Mm-hmm. I trust you and I love you. Mm-hmm. Do you trust me? Yes. You hesitate? No. Yes, I do. And you don't feel afraid that I'm going to lose faith. I'm not going to lose faith. I'll get through this crazy thing, but this is just nuts. It is nuts, but let George speak again. Go ahead, George. It is exactly the way things need to go down now, Lena. More stories like this are going to start coming out. Not just about John, but probably many of them. You Gotta keep you cool. And remember who you are. And that's it. All right. All right, Lena. So we'll check this video out and see if you want to air it, okay? And I think it's a good one. What do you think, George? I think it's very good. I think it's good for her. And I think it's, if she gets uncomfortable with it, she could just take it down. Leave it up for a few hours and see how you feel, Lena. You'll help somebody out there, I promise. This is for you as well as there's others out there going through their own crisis of faith here and there. Okay? Remember, and also nobody's lumping you in with anybody. Nobody. Okay.